Hello, everybody. Welcome to Film Junkee Live. How we doing out there? Good to see ya. It's the end of Monday. I'm sure you guys are doing good. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that like, thumbs up. Do all that. Helps with the algorithm. If you want to share it too, do all that. Hopefully you guys are doing good. We got some New York Comic Con recaps we'll do. We got the Penguin as well. We got some box office and Christopher Nolan. I can never get tired of all the Christopher Nolan news we're getting right now. So, how we doing out there, guys? Hopefully you're doing good. Let's see who we got out here. We got, hey, what's going on, Ryan? We got Mama Film Junkie here. Good to see you, Mom. Love you. Hopefully everything's going well where you're at right now. Except for, the little mishap you had earlier. What's going on to a lot of you plays? Great talking to you on the Saturday stream. Let's see, we got Mr. Nobody. What's going on? Brendan, hey, how you doing? We got Fear Jason right here. You're in the middle of editing. Oh, okay. Oh, what are you editing there, huh? And we got Miss Lisa Jackson. Good to see ya. Where's the seed? The DCU updates. And we got some DCU up. Well, James Gunn did a bunch of DCU updates, So we'll be talking about them. What's going on? Ninja Gamer 13. I heard a bunch of words during the Creature Commandos panel about it and lanterns that give me hope for the DCU. Dark, adult, sad, grounded, and real fire. Much better than fun and ridiculous. You don't want fun? Fun? But yeah, we'll talk about that. I mean, I did do a live reaction. I did do a live stream. Me and Phil and I did a live stream. We kind of reacted to everything. But and then of course we talked about it more on the Saturday members and Patreon stream. But I just wanted to talk about it a little bit more and seeing how people are reacted to all the information that came out of there. So we got JD McRae. What is happening, sir? We got Gecky TV. Hey, there's Jose. What's going on? I know you were on Cloud9 last night. Yep, the Dodgers. Hey, they're proving themselves. Now it's going to be interesting to see. I have a feeling they're going to beat the Yankees. I have a feeling they'll beat the Yankees. And good. Beat the Yankees. I'm actually going to root for the Dodgers now. There you go. I told Mama Film Junkie last night. Coming from a Giants fan, I was rooting for the Mets. I was rooting for the Padres, and I was rooting for the Mets. But now I'll root for the Dodgers because I'm like, I don't want to root for the Yankees. Let's represent the National League West here. So now I'm officially rooting for the Dodgers when it comes to the World Series. So there you go. What's going on? Hard boiled. I wonder if we'll be getting any more big announcements at the Tampa. Oh yeah, there's a Tampa Comic-Con. I doubt it. I haven't heard anything. The next time we'll get some announcements, or I think the first time we'll actually get footage, like Superman footage, I think it's going to be at CCXP. CCXP is going to be that's going to be grounds for some good shit right there. So, I'm sure. I'm jealous of you. But, yeah, we got Shano. Good evening. Happy Monday. Happy end of Monday for sure. We got W Games right here. Did you get the McFarlane BVS figures? I got them all. You got them all. No, I didn't get a single one. Did not get a single one. The first wave is always like pretty quick. So I'll eventually get some. I'm just not sure which ones. Like I said, right now, it's all about budgeting. Right now, it's just kind of like, all right, which ones would I actually want? So I didn't get any of them because I was like, all right, right now I don't really need them right now, but maybe eventually when it comes to the second or third wave, when it comes to the McFarlanes, I'm like, okay, when that happens, then I'll purchase. But man, to be honest, I would love to get the BVS Batfleck holding the grappling hook statue, but that thing is like $250. That thing is $250, and I'm like, oh god, that's a little too much. But maybe I'll pick up something. Maybe I'll head over to Walmart or Target if they have any. I don't know. But yeah, I didn't pick up any of them. I wasn't jumping on those quite yet because, gotta budget yourself. Let's see. We got RJ right here. Good to see you, buddy. We got Thwip. What's going on, Nate? Hope you're doing well. We got Mr. Balga right here. The Penguin just keeps bringing it hard every week. Creature Commandos looked wild, and I am happy to give it a watch since Gunn does good work with the hard luck anti-heroes. Absolutely. We got Music Man. What's going on? Stephanie T. Great to see ya. Great to see ya. Whoop. And we got, who else we got? We got Max Wolf Danger. Glad you're doing good. Good to see ya. Yeah, congrats to them Dodgers. They made it. It was a little iffy right there. I thought the Mets might have pulled it off. But it's gonna be okay. I think they'll win the whole thing, as they should, for how much money they paid for Ohtani. What's going on, the Watcher? Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, great to see you guys. Thank you for joining in tonight. Always great. And again, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Do all that, and yeah, weekend was pretty good. Didn't really do much. Well, except for streaming twice. I did a double streaming when it came to New York Comic Con. I did that on Saturday. Watched Freddy movies all the way up to the fourth Freddy movie. Yeah, I watched. Obviously the first Nightmare on Elm Street. Great, fantastic. Always great to rewatch those movies, and I'm keeping the spooky watch going. So did a little marathon of Freddy. First one obviously is great, but man, I tell you what, if it was released now today with the exact same script, exact same acting, exact same everything, people would be like, what the hell? Why is the acting and dialogue so bad? Because it is, but at the same time, we love that, right? We love that the dialogue and the acting can be bad. It's not all terrible, but what makes it special is the fact that it was something new, it was something different, and the scares and the kills and the gore is what makes the movie. And the score of those movies are great. And then of course I watched Freddy's Revenge, which, my God, you want to talk about homoeroticism? I'm like, Jesus Christ. I mean, that movie is just got, the main character is, there's a lot of things that happen. I think I've already kind of just did a whole spiel on this on one of the streams over the weekend. But yeah, I'm just saying, it's just, I forgot how ridiculous that movie is. And then, of course, you have Dream Warriors, which is fantastic. And then I watched the fourth one, which I forgot what that one is called. But that one's not that great. But hey, the Freddy movies are fine. So, what's going on? Is it lagging? Oh, no. Is it lagging? Oh, no. Stephanie says it's fine with her. What's happening? Is it bad? What are we doing here? Let's see. I'm looking at it on Twitter right now, and it looks fine. Yeah, it looks fine on Twitter. It looks like it's fine on Twitter, maybe? I don't know. If the YouTube feed, I don't have the YouTube feed up. Is it fine? Hello? Is anybody out there? Uh-oh. When I don't get a response, I'm like, uh-oh. Ruh-roh. It's fine? All right, Ryan says it's fine. So, yeah, we got trouble in River City. It's so far better. Okay, so seems to be good. Fuzzy and lagging. Bam. That's great. Let's see. Here, I'll turn off that just in case. I did have the football game on, so maybe that was part of it. So, yeah. Well, I'll turn that off just in case. I know Mondays, the past 2 Mondays have sucked when it comes to this. So, I'm hoping that this Monday is fine. But let's see. Skip. Let's see, is it better now? Not again. No bueno. It's not good. Okay. Yeah. Why is it working on my end? I see it working fine on my end, or is it cutting off? Is it in and out? No, it is. It is laggy. It's laggy pants. And I tell you what. Why is it? If you want to help me pay for better internet and better software, then by all means. Yeah. Let's see. It's good. It's good. Why does it always seems like it's Mondays? All right. Let's see. It's doing that. Let's see if it clears up. Probably won't, because I don't know why. The past couple of Mondays have just been crap. Absolute crap. I don't know. I'm probably going to have to do another. Maybe I just got to just dedicate Mondays to do a pre-recorded show. That's what it seems like it's going to be the case here. Yeah. You know, Wednesdays are always good. Fridays are always good. Saturdays were both good. Seems like there's just a curse on Monday. Curse on Mondays. I don't know what it is. Why is it always on Monday? Yeah, it's not going to fix itself. Oh, man. Yeah, Monday is just always going to be that kind of day, right? Let's see. Waiting for it to see if it does anything. All right. Nope. Let's see. Live. Let's see. Looking at the live feed. Ah, this stupid thing. Oh, what the hell? Jesus Christ. Come on. Freaking YouTube. Nah, it's laggy. It's definitely laggy. It's only on Mondays. It's only on Mondays that this happens. I don't exactly know why. Why is it always on Mondays that this happens? All right, let's see. Let's see if it keeps on going. Doing this. Let's see. I'm looking at the feed. Seems like it's doing all right now, maybe, but nope. Then it locks up. Nope. Is it locking up? Maybe not. I don't know. See, then again, I'm not fully live here. Jesus Christ. All right, Jesus. Just refresh, I guess. I don't know. I click on the thing to try to make it live, and then it just goes wonky. I'm like, what the hell? This is not even... Play it live. There you go. Do it live. All right, so it seems, well, okay. Is it good? Seems like it's all right now, right? Okay, I think we're good. It seems to be working pretty fine right now, so. Are we good? I think we're all right. I think we are all right now. Yeah. I swear it's a Monday thing. I think it's a Monday thing where it's just like, what happens on Mondays? Why only on Mondays? It's weird, but hey, you know, what could he do? Technology. So the audio's in and out now. All right, so the audio's bad now. So video's good, audio's bad. Okay, it says we're okay now. Let's see. We're okay now, possibly. All right. God, yeah, I don't know what it is about Monday. Past 2 Mondays. Not working. Wednesdays are fine. Fridays are fine. Saturdays are fine. So it's going to be, hopefully it's all good now. Not going to be so glitchy, but yeah, let me know. I try, guys. I try. Okay? I wish I could have the most expensive internet and the most expensive stuff, but I can't. So I'm just working with what I got here, all right? That's all. Just work with me here. I know it could be disappointing. Trust me, it's more disappointing for me than it is to you. But I think we're going to be okay. So, yeah, I know, right? I always got to say, like, hey, everything has a case of the Mondays from Office Space, but... yeah, so I think we're good now. I think we're all right. Yeah, it looks like it's working pretty good now. So, All right, we're all good. All right, so let's just get started. Let's go. Let's go to the tweets. Let's go to the tweets, and I'm gonna start off with this right here because there was a new trailer. There was a new trailer that came out, and I was kind of curious about this movie. Because I saw like the concept art and everything, and I was just kind of like, I'm just like, I was kind of wondering like what this movie was going to be all about, really. And it's this movie called The Electric State from the Russo brothers that's coming out, and I'm sure you guys saw it too. But when it came to this, I don't know how are we feeling about this trailer right here. We won't go through the whole thing, but it seems pretty interesting. Having to do with like a dystopian future with robots and everything. Of course, they use, yeah. We got Keon, yeah.
For what now?
It's like, it doesn't look quite like the designs. It doesn't look like quite like the designs that the concept that was actually shown, but I'm going, all right, I'm not gonna lie, this looks pretty interesting. It's got a pretty good cast, so yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it. What I don't like though, is when we got Venom, The Last Dance that's coming out, and we got some new posters that came out over the weekend, and this poster right here is really cool. This poster, yeah, very, designed well. Look at that. Looks cool. But then you got this poster right here. What the fuck is going on right here? Why? Look at Tom Hardy's head. What is going on with his head? Why? Who, like, approves this and goes, yeah, that's a good poster. That's a good poster right there. I don't understand what happens when it comes to, like, making these posters and stuff. I don't get it. Can somebody explain that to me? Like, what are they doing here? What are they doing here when it comes to these posters? Oi. Just doesn't make sense. The movie has got the best and worst. Yeah, I know, right? Seriously, it does. And then Empire Magazine also featured Mickey 17, which, of course, you guys know I'm very much looking forward to. So they had a whole spread when it came to talking to Bong Joon-ho, and, we got Robert Pattinson, and of course they were on the cover and everything. And basically, Joon-ho talked about how he had like final cut. He had final cut when it came to his movies, so that's good. It's always good that when the director actually has final cut for his movie. So, and then of course we had this right here, which was also like an alternate cover, which was kind of like a video game kind of like whole thing right here. So I thought, that's pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to it. That's one of my it was one of my anticipated movies of this year, but then it got pushed to next year, and I'm like, okay, fine. That's fine. I mean, if it gets pushed, I mean, I know it's a January release, but, hopefully it's, like, going to be okay. Like, hopefully it'll, like, squash some box office numbers when it comes to January. Hopefully. Who knows? I guess we'll see. And then we got Tom Holland, and we're going to be talking about Tom Holland in a little bit. Well, with one of the topics, but yeah. Tom Holland apparently has read the Spider-Man 4 script. Well, he and, of course, his lovely Miss Zendaya, they have read the script. And he was on a podcast recently, and he kind of talked about certain things. And apparently, when it comes to Tom Holland, he actually has some creative input when it comes to Spider-Man 4, which is really cool. I'm like, okay, good. I'm glad that he actually has some creative input when it comes to this. But one of the quotes that he said right here that I posted, it needs work, but the writers are doing a great job. I read it 3 weeks ago, and it really lit a fire in me. Zendaya and I sat down, read it together, and we at times were bouncing around the living room. Huh? So something about it made them very excited. And of course, yes, Zendaya is going to be in it. She has to be in it. God knows what's going to be happening when it comes to everything that happened, obviously, in No Way Home and everybody forgetting about him. But of course, at the end, they were emphasizing the fact that she had a feeling that she knew Peter, right? There's something there. So maybe there's going to be something. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be this whole grounded, hey, we're just going to be in Brooklyn and Hell's Kitchen and whatever. It's not going to be a small Spider-Man story. There's going to be some multiverse stuff that's going to be happening. I mean, of course there is. There definitely is. And I'm just kind of going like, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't they go that direction? But it's going to be interesting. But it is going to be there's going to be multiverse aspects to it because Sony still has their multiverse stuff. So yeah, and that's working. That's working. This is working. So yes, there's going to be multiverse elements to it for sure. There's no way that it's not. So is it glitching again? Yep, it's glitching. It be glitching again. Yep. It's glitching again. Why Mondays? Everything has a case of the Mondays when it comes to this. But yeah, it's glitching again. Man, I wonder why. Why Mondays? Why Mondays? But you know, it's glitching again. But now it's stopping. Okay, looking at the feed. It seems to be good. Okay, so there might be just like a couple little glitches every now and again. But hey, you know what could you do? All right. So it seems to be just like, it's just a couple glitches. We're fine. All right. We're moving along here. I think we'll be all right. So when it comes to, obviously, New York Comic Con and the McFarlane toys, Mr. Ray Porter, good old Ray, he actually was going to be at New York Comic Con. He's going to be at New York Comic Con. And basically he was just like, hey, you know what? Can anybody direct me to where I can find the McFarlanes and everything like that, where I could actually maybe get my hands on. Can I get my hands on everything's done? I'm probably just gonna do a recorded show again. It's not working, right? Everything's done. Yeah. All right. Jesus Christ. All right. It's not working. And we're back. I don't know if this is going to be more glitches or not. I don't know. Jesus. It's only on Mondays. Only on Mondays. We're back. Is it because everybody's streaming Monday Night Football right now? I don't know. All right. But anyways, so Ray Porter, he wanted to, I'm pouring a shot. Jesus Christ. I'm pouring a shot. Haunting Mondays. Why not? Cheers. I was like, you know what? Let's pour a shot since this stupid stuff is like doing that. But I think seems to be like it's okay right now. So let's move on. We'll see what happens. Is it glitching? Don't. All right, so I gotta have that right there. So now we're good. We're good right now. But anyways, Ray Porter, he found his Darkseid. So there's him with McFarlane right there. So he had success when it came to that. And it was great to see that. And not to mention, Ray Porter, hey, man, he's looking slim right now. I don't know about, some people were mentioning that. It's like, hey, Ray Porter, I mean, he's looking pretty trim. You know, getting a little fit right there, Mr. Ray Porter. That's great to see. Absolutely great to see. So, glad to see that. And then, of course, when it comes to these McFarlanes, so, I mean, obviously, like, there's, the way the whole thing works when it comes to collectibles and everything like that, I'm, of course, uneducated when it comes to that. Scott McClellan is, of course, the guy to go to when it comes to these figurines. And, of course, they have certain ones called Chase. Ones that are labeled Chase, which you have to, like, find them, and they're very rare, and they have like a little sticker on them. Scott and Wonder Meg, they're the ones that know this stuff the most. They know about this stuff the most. And so obviously they unveiled like the ones that you can get, from Walmart, Target, or whatever the hell. But look at this right here. They actually have this right here, and of course you have you have Armored Batman, Wonder Woman, and Nightmare Batman underneath. But look at the top ones. These ones are labeled differently, and we got the Armored Batman with the fucking kryptonite spear, and of course a little bit more, the design looks a little bit different. And then of course you have the Superman False God figurine. So you can also somehow you're gonna have to like try to find that one. There's like a whole thing when it comes to collectibles. With Funko Pops are the same way. Like I said, both of them have explained it to me. I'm not exactly sure what is happening, so not exactly sure what goes on when it comes to that. But yeah, so. And then, of course, when it comes to Disney and live action, for some reason, Disney just, I can only imagine this one's going to be pure dog shit. But, yeah, a Prince Charming is in the works when it comes to Disney. Paul King is set to direct. All right. I have no desire. What are they going to do with that? I mean, they're probably going to change it up, right? Because you can't have Prince Charming nowadays. Society wouldn't want that, right? I don't know if they're gonna are they gonna do a legit like Prince Charming, or is it just gonna be blah? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine when it comes to that. I don't know. I'm just kind of going like Prince Charming live action. Yeah, I have no desire for any of that right now. So, anyways, okay. How's the stream looking? Is the stream bad? I mean, I'm looking at the feed right now on YouTube, and it looks fine to me. But I don't know if you guys, is it bad? Is it good? Is it terrible? What's going? Stream's good. Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right, just making sure. I'm sure some people probably just left and said, nope, not gonna watch that, because I'm like, oh shit, not very. This chat's not okay. So we're good. We're good. All right, so we got Karate Kid Legends. Now, the poster was unveiled, which looks really cool. This is the poster right here, just in case you didn't see it. But Jackie Chan, Ben Wang, and of course, Ralph Macchio. And it's a great poster. And we talked about it on the streams. We talked about it on the Vox stream. And, I'm liking the poster. I think the poster is really good. But at the same time, I'm going like, all right, how do you actually do this right here? Because, not a lot of people go, hey, you want to watch Karate Kid? Let's watch the fucking remake. Nobody ever really says that, because they're like, oh, really? Jaden Smith as the Karate Kid? He doesn't do the greatest job. He's not the greatest actor. We've seen that. Anytime Jaden Smith showed up, and I think like when it came to The Pursuit of Happiness, Jaden Smith he was good in that. Will Smith was good in that, really good in that. But, when it came to Karate Kid, and then, of course, when it came to After Earth, holy crap, it was pretty bad, and Jaden Smith doesn't really act anymore. So I don't know if he's actually going to be showing up in this one. But we got, of course, Jackie Chan, who plays Mr. Han. But at the same time, another little detail that was revealed, too, over the weekend was the fact that Mr. Han is going to reveal to Daniel that he knew Mr. Miyagi. So there's a connection to Han and Miyagi. So that's what's going to be interesting of how they play that into this movie. That's what I'm kind of curious about. So there's a connection right there. And I was like, yeah, there has to be some kind of connection to Mr. Miyagi in this. There's no way they don't. And I'm kind of wondering if they're going to do some kind of flashback thing, because there has been teasings of doing like a Mr. Miyagi prequel series. I'm kind of wondering if they're going to fucking show something between Han and Miyagi back, when they were young. And I'm kind of wondering if that's going to like set up. Is it going to set up something, for a prequel Miyagi series? That's what I'm kind of wondering. And I think that's what this movie's actually going to do. I think it's going to like bring us that Miyagi prequel series, which I'm all about. Let's get a Miyagi prequel series, man. But very much looking forward to that. So we'll see. And then, of course, we got Mr. Denny. Then I believe. I always say his name wrong because I am terrible at names. But Dune Messiah. Dune Messiah. Oh, man. I kept on saying, like, oh, we're probably not going to get Dune Messiah for a long time. It's probably going to be a few years. You know, Mr. Denny, as I call him, he's probably going to end up doing, you know, a couple other projects, which I know he's got other projects, but he might be like, okay, you know, do some projects and then come back to the whole Dune universe. But apparently that's not going to be happening. And according to him right here, this is a quote from him. I thought after part 2 that I will take a break, that I will go back into in the woods and stay in the woods for a while to recover. But the woods weren't really suiting me. So there you go right there. And apparently Dune Messiah is going to start filming in 2026. And a lot of people are kind of wondering like, well, hey, if he's not going to do that with Greg Fraser, the cinematographer, that means Greg Fraser hopefully can it be available for the Batman Part 2? Maybe. That's what a lot of people are hoping right there. So, ooh, buddy. So it looks like Dune Messiah coming sooner than later. Oh. Then, of course, we're all looking forward to what Aaron Pierre is going to bring to the John Stewart Green Lantern character. And, of course, there's a lot of art out there. And you guys know me. I love showing off people's art right here. We got Matthias Smart Sheep. He posted this right here. He's at Smart Sheep Art, and he posted this image right here of Aaron Pierre and those piercing eyes. I tell you, I think that's one of the reasons why like he has those piercing eyes. And he posted this right here, which is like, whoa, that's pretty cool. That's a cool little poster right here. Aaron Pierre is John Stewart, DC Studios Productions, and of course he has lanterns right there, but look at that. I mean, the uniform is basically his skin, which is kind of interesting. Like the uniform, like the Green Lantern uniform is just like his skin. It's like his skin, essentially. So I was like, wow, that's pretty sweet. But the thing is like, again, Aaron Pierre has those eyes, man. So when we see those green, that's just what's going to be like. People are going to be like, holy crap. So that's pretty cool. I like that. I like that. And then, of course, we did talk about this right here, Mr. Aaron Bailey. And I would like to talk about it again because he had quite a weekend with this image right here. So Aaron Bailey, you know, he's been on the Vox stream many times. He's a friend. Definitely a mutual when it comes to, I'd always like to display his art. He's been on the Vodka stream numerous times. First off, he started by putting Cavill into the image. Then he put Tyler Hoechlin, and then he put Christopher Reeve. And I just thought really cool on him to add all that. But, man, Aaron had quite a time this weekend because all the art that he made blew up. And people were like, losing their minds because he added Cavill before he added Hoechlin, and then people were like, "Where's Christopher Reeve?" and all this kind of stuff. It was really ridiculous, but that was the ending result of that art, and I thought that was pretty cool. Even though William, Mr. Sci-Fi Center, he wasn't a fan of it apparently. Good old William, it's fine. And then we got this right here. Any American Psycho fans? I love that movie. I love American Psycho, of course. Love Christian Bale in the role. And I'm just kind of going like, oh boy, here we go. Because apparently, Luca, I'm not even going to try it. But this director, and I'm trying to remember exactly what he's directed before. But yes, he's apparently going to direct a new adaptation of American Psycho at Lionsgate. Now, I'm just kind of going, good. Why not? Let's have an updated version, you know. The first one came out in what? Early 2000s? It's been over 20 years. They did make a sequel with Mila Kunis. Did you guys ever see that one? It wasn't great. It wasn't good. It was bad. But they did do a sequel with Mila Kunis. And, yeah. But, hey, you know what? If they want to do another American Psycho and Mr. Luca right here, what the hell has he done? What has he done? I'm like, I'm totally like blanking on like, what is he, let's see, Luca. He's an Italian film director. What has he made? Okay, oh yeah, he's the guy who did Challengers and Call Me By Your Name. That's right. He did, and then, so he did those movies. That's right. He's that guy. See, I didn't watch Challengers. I watched Call Me By Your Name, but I was kind of like, It's a little weird. Like, it wasn't a bad movie, but I was just like going like, are we promoting like it's just there's things that I found a little. He also did the remake of Suspiria, which I really enjoy the original Dario Suspiria, but I put on the remake and I think I fell asleep to it. But yeah, he did Challengers and he also did Bones and All, which I'm not a big fan of the whole body. Well, it wasn't like, but it was like, I don't know. I just was not all about that. But hey, you know what? If he wants to take it on, by all means. By all means. But I heard Challengers was good. I just haven't got around to watching it yet. We'll see what happens. Maybe one of these days I will. And you guys want to see some awesome cosplay that happened at, I think it looks at New York Comic Con? Mr. Rob Keys from Screen Rant posted this right here. This is like some of the best cosplay you'll probably ever see at a random, and this is what I love. I love it when people like take it upon themselves to come up with something creative when it comes to cosplay. And you'll never guess what this cosplay is until, I play this video for you. You know what this is. Come on. Yes. What the hell, man? Somebody made an Ace Ventura When Nature Calls, when he has to squeeze out of that fake rhino, which is a funny scene. They made that. That is so freaking fantastic. Creative is all hell right there. Come on. That is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. You got to love that. And then, of course, we had another trailer that came out over the weekend, which, I'm very much looking forward to this, too. We have the Wolfman trailer. I don't know if you guys saw this, but they released, the first one we got was a teaser trailer. Teaser trailer for the Wolfman. Of course, it's Leigh Whannell, who did The Invisible Man. And, of course, Leigh Whannell is, part of the Saw franchise and worked with James Wan a lot. But this trailer right here is absolutely fantastic. And it's pretty intense and holy crap. Okay, cool. And of course, we see some pretty intense imagery right here. And a lot of people are kind of wondering okay, so how do you update the Wolfman? Well, that's where Leigh Whannell comes in, and that's where he shines, because the way that he updated the Invisible Man, you have to update these characters, even if these cherished universal characters, you have to somewhat, it's how do you update these characters into, modern day? And I think everybody thought he did a fantastic job of what he did with the Invisible Man, and it worked. So when it comes to the Wolfman, the way that he's updating this one, it's not a curse. It's not oh yeah, this is a curse, and then of course whoever gets the curse bites somebody else, and hey, no, this is actually, it's an infection. So it's an infection this time. So it's not a curse, it's an infection. So that's what's kind of interesting. And then I'm kind of going all right, okay, it's an infection. We'll see what. But the thing about Leigh Whannell, if you've watched any of his movies, whether he's directed them or written them, Leigh Whannell is I would say that he's up there with M. Night Shyamalan, where he's just oh, there's going to be a twist. There's going to be a twist that I'm hoping that you don't see coming. That's what I like about Leigh Whannell, is the fact that he is all about the twist. And if you watch his movies, you go, oh shit, look at the first Saw movie. Him and James Wan, they wrote that movie, and that's got one of the best twists, ever. I think that's one of the best twists ever, So there's going to be some kind of twist to it, which is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see where he takes that. I'm very much looking forward to it. So. Let's see. Keep going. Yeah. And we don't need to talk about that. What else we got here? We'll talk about that, of course. Just kind of scrolling through. Hey, look at this. We got our very own LisWonder. Look who she ran into at New York Comic Con. That's right. The Slay himself, Slay Oliva. So there you go. You got LisWonder right there. Showing up to, of course, Jay Oliva. And they took a picture together, which is great. Always good to see that. And, of course, LisWonder looking just awesome in her Wonder Woman costume. She posted all kinds of stuff. And, of course, she's working with Vero and everything. So, yeah, she posted a lot of videos and images and everything. So, good stuff right there. Let's see what else we got. Oh, I had a little fun last night, guys. I had a little fun. So, obviously, the weekend was fun. You know, talking about a lot of things, watching Nightmare on Elm Street. And then, of course, I went to my friend's house, watched football all day. And then when I got home, I was like, okay, started working on things. And, you know, no social media is safe. No social media is safe when it comes to bots, okay? Not even Vero, okay? Now, I'm not active on Vero because Vero is, you know, there's not a lot. I mean, Vero was cool because Zach heavily promotes Vero, and it was cool for, like, the Snyder fandom to show up on Vero and everything. Basically just being like, okay, yeah, Vero is good when it comes to at least that. When it came to, and of course Zach posting on it and everything like that. But you know, when it comes to like Vero on my phone, you know, and I have an Android, and I know, you know, some people frown upon that, but I say screw you, I'm not going to buy an iPhone. But it doesn't work that well. And there's been times where I've tried to post things and it just doesn't post. And even when I open it, I have to refresh it and it just doesn't work. But there is times where I just, you know, I'll go through that. I'll open it up and scroll through and see what the hell people are posting. But then, of course, bots end up showing up in the DMs. And I got another bot, and I had some fun with it. So I got this, you know, DM right here that basically was like, hey, you know, someone named Kylie. And, of course, if you look at that profile, well, some seductive stuff on there. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm awesome. And where are you from, huh? And I said, Gotham City. I had a little fun. And, oh, sorry, what's that's located in which country? I said the U.S. You're funny. Never heard of that in the U.S. Maybe Australia. And I said, oh, whoa, you never heard of Gotham City? Crazy. We have got a lot of crime. And some dude dressed like a bat has taken upon himself to fight the crime in the city. And then, of course, it was just like, I got like a ha ha ha, and I was like, all right, I was done with that. But yeah, it's always fun. It's always funny when bots even show up in, you know, DMs for Instagram, Twitter, and all that stuff. But when it comes to Vero, it's always funnier because I'm like, well, let's see how this response is. And then, of course, it's just like, come on. So I had a little fun with that last night. Yeah, there's a lot of bots on Twitter. I just ignore the Twitter ones because that's too many. Anytime that I get a message request in my DMs, it's usually they're trying to sell me some crypto thing or whatever the fuck. I don't know. I don't even like mess with that. But when it happens on Vero, it's always kind of funny because I'm like, wait, I get a notification like so and so wants to connect with you. I'm like, huh. All right, let's see. Up. Oh yeah, let's connect. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get a message soon. And sure enough, I'm like, yep, there it is. And then I just found that funny because they always ask where you're from, and I'm like, okay, I'm from Gotham City. And I just thought that was funny. And then of course, like, that's when you know, it's like, oh yeah, where's Gotham City? And then the fact that she named Australia, or it named Australia, I was like, really? So just thought I'd have a little fun with that. But yes, guys, do you guys realize, oh man, I posted a GIF when I woke up this morning. And one of the first things I posted, and some people were like, why are you posting this, Dave? What are you doing here? You know, it's always one of those posts where if you just post a GIF, some people might start like, you know, pulling out the magnifying glass and being like, what the hell? And here's the GIF right here. You guys know the GIF. Obviously, it's Henry Cavill in Black Adam revealing himself. That little cameo. So naturally, people were like, hey, what's going on here? Are you trying to say something? Are you messing with people? I'm like, no. I just posted it because I was like, 2 years ago, Black Adam came out. 2 years ago. I don't know if it's the exact date, obviously, give or take, because obviously, you have Thursday showings, and I remember seeing it, early showing. So technically, should have been yesterday. But yeah, I saw other people posting that. Oh, yeah, it's been 2 years since we saw Henry Cavill come back as Superman. And then, of course, sadly, we got him taken away from us, And yeah, I just thought I'd just post that. Kind of see what happens in in the mentions, and it's sad, and mainly people just knew exactly what I was talking about. But yeah, it does suck. It does suck how when the way Warner Brothers was then with everything, and their hearts were in the right places, but yeah, sadly that just ended up not happening, and it sucks because, well, I mean, a lot of people went to go see Black Adam, at least a lot of fans of Henry Cavill went to go see Black Adam because we knew we were going to get this cameo. And 2 years later, it's like, man, what would have been if James Gunn didn't end up doing DC Studios, and it would have been Dwayne Johnson and Mr. Hiram Garcia running DC? We would have had a partial DCEU and a new DC EU, I guess you could say. It would have been kind of like I don't know. Would it have worked? Who knows? That's what's so interesting about that's the one thing I think about when I see this cameo, when I saw people posting it. I'm like, what would have been if Dwayne Johnson, if Zazzy Pants made Dwayne Johnson's whole $7 Productions basically leading DC Studios? What would have been? And I think people would have still hated it, like the diehard Snyder fans would have still hated it because it wouldn't have been exact. But at the same time, we still would have. I mean, would Ben Affleck come back for more things? Would Gal Gadot be getting her Wonder Woman 3? There's a lot of things. There's a lot of questions when it comes to that. But for the most part, with all the mess that was happening, it was like, you know what? when it comes to Zazzy Pants, he's made some bad decisions when it comes to things, but I think like just going, you know what? We just need a somewhat fresh restart, because it's still somewhat, there's still things that are coming from the DCEU when it comes to Jimmy Guns. There is still something. And I know we're going to be getting a new Doom movie eventually, but apparently Neil Blomkamp might be directing it. Is he on the radar to direct Doom? Maybe. I don't know. Possibly. He posted this right here. So I would not hate that. I really like Neil Blomkamp. I really do. So I'm like, hey, if he's going to post that, why not? Why not have him? And then more great Halloween costumes, guys. I got to show this one too before we start diving into the topics. But I got to show this one right here that somebody made, and it's also pretty great. Look at this, Bob, and they put their little Chihuahua with his tongue sticking out. Oh, that's adorable! That's absolutely adorable. Come on. That's so creative right there. It's like, yeah, you got the body right there, and then you put your little. Come on, people are just freaking awesome right there. People are awesome. You gotta love that. And also, guys, if you guys were wondering when Avengers Doomsday is going to be starting to film, well, according to Collider and according to the Russo brothers, spring of 2025. So there you go. So I posted that image right there. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make a little image and post about it. And yeah, so Avengers Doomsday is going to be starting to film, going into production of spring of next year. So it's going to be interesting to see, because they're obviously going to post something from day one, right? They have to. So, man, So we got that. And then, of course, they're going to be starting to film Spider-Man 4 as well, which is going to be interesting as well. So it's going to be pretty crazy. Zachary Levi. All right, Zachary Levi. Yep, Zachary Levi. People are just really hating Zachary Levi right now. I've always tried to defend Zachary Levi because I think Zachary Levi, is a nice guy, and I know he's gone through some shit. And then, of course, there's some things that have come out recently where I kind of go, is this politically motivated now that he is supporting Trump, which a lot of people don't like the fact that when people start supporting Trump, they start throwing him under the, it's all this stuff. But, there's things that have come out, and I just kind of go, I don't even know now, because when it comes to media, and now that he has, come out supporting Trump, I kind of wonder, well, did he really say that he was thinking he was going to be like the next Chris Evans? That was like a thing that came out, and I'm like, I don't know if that's true. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but it came from a source, didn't come from him directly. I don't know. But now we have this right here. We all know that he had a movie that came out this year called Harold and the Purple Crown, which is based on a children's book, and it bombed. It bombed badly at the box office, and then according to Bloomberg, Sony asked Netflix if they wanted to buy Harold and the Purple Crown from them, but Netflix didn't want it. So I'm kind of going, all right, is this politically motivated? Because here's my thought about it, guys. Netflix buys bad movies all the time. And what happens to these bad movies? They end up being in the top 5 or top 3 or even number 1 when they debut on Netflix. Madam Web, Pixels, there's been numerous movies that Netflix has put on their platform that were bad and bombed at the box office that do extremely well on their platform. So I'm kind of going like, this movie probably would do the same thing. Just saying. But then I'm just kind of going like, is this all politically motivated? Because now we have Levi, who's like full-on conservative, full-on Trumper guy now. Is that what's going on? That's the question I ask. Could be possibly that. But I'm just kind of going like, it's just a little weird, but hey, it's Netflix. What can you do? And then, of course, our Austin, who's been showing up on the Vodka stream, and he showed up when he came on 2 weeks ago. He talked about his short film that he had, Stab. And, of course, here's the poster right there, which is obviously takes place in the world of the Scream universe. You can actually watch the short film now. Him and Bradley, of course, made their Stab movie, so you can actually watch it on YouTube currently right now. So go check it out if you're a fan of all that. So good on Austin, good on all them. So that's pretty sweet. Yeah. So, and I'm sure we'll talk about it. He'll probably show up on the Friday's Vodka stream. So looking pretty good. Actors should stay out of politics. Yeah, they should. I mean, yeah, whether it's right or left, they should stay out of politics. That's what I've always thought. Just like stay out of freaking politics. But they don't. But it's just, again, when it's certain politics, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, Zachary Levi, this and that. So there's like 2 things that have come out since he's come out as that. So then I kind of go, is it because he's going right wing now? Because Hollywood does not like right wing. It is interesting. Anyways, all right. Let's go ahead and talk about the topics. Let's talk about the topics at hand here. And thankfully, the stream, I shouldn't, knock on wood, the stream's doing well right now. Let's do a little recap when it comes to New York Comic Con that happened over the weekend. Well, we got a couple of things, too. Even when it comes to James Gunn, before we start talking about the recap when it comes to New York Comic Con, first off, there was an image of David Cornsweet in the Superman costume that was floating around that immediately got debunked as AI, and thankfully it did, because holy shit, is it awful. But here it is right there. Look at the chonies on this guy. Those are some mom jean fucking high-waisted chonies right there. Jesus Christ. But yeah, this was being passed around as, oh yeah, this is the costume test for David Cornsweet in the Superman costume, and it was like, holy Lord. But it was so funny because I was like, how do people actually believe that was actually it? And I love how James Gunn was like, hell no. Oh, That's like up. That's like the freaking chonies are like up to here. The boots don't look anything like how the boots are supposed to be. But yeah, it's AI generated, and it was just like, oh, good Lord, ugh, man. I was just like, holy Lord, that was just absolutely just gross right here. And by the way, guys, happy Back to the Future Day, because it is Back to the Future Day. If you look at the date of when they go to 2015, it's October 21st. So happy Back to the Future Day. But it's also Wonder Woman Day, which, of course, James Gunn posted that right here. So there you go. Wonder Woman Day as well. So, of course, he naturally was like, hey, let's post that right here. And then we got this on Threads right here. When it comes to Peacemaker, Peacemaker is actually going to be getting a comic book. And people were kind of wondering about, like, what's going on with this Peacemaker comic book? How much is it connected to the DCU? So right here, somebody said, like, James Gunn and anyone at DC knowledgeable, posts of yesterday's reveal of the new Vigilante and Eagly comic seemed to have disappeared from my feed this morning. Did something happen? James Gunn said right here, yeah, that's me. Sorry. I deleted the post from Threads and changed the text in Instagram. Someone posted the announcement of me yesterday while I was doing press for Creature Commandos, and it was intimidated. The books were DCU continuity. They are amazing and fun books by wonderfully talented folks, but they're not in DCU continuity. Sorry. So those books, when it comes to Vigilante and Eagly, not going to be related to DCU. So more confusing stuff when it comes to what is DCU, what is not, I guess you could say. You got to do that. I mean, at least he was like, yeah, so he actually messed up. So Jimmy Gunn's messed up on that one. You know, it happens. It does happen. What can he do, I guess? All right, so let's go through a little recap when it comes to what happened at New York Comic Con when it comes to DC Studios. And I want to thank, of course, DCU Brief, who actually broke it down, and they had like a whole thread. So I'm actually going to utilize that because, I mean, obviously, you could see Phil and I, we reacted to everything that was announced when it came to DCU, but obviously it was mainly about Creature Commandos and wanting to talk about that. But there's no way that Josh Horowitz was going to leave that panel and not ask about the DCU as a whole. So, yeah, little things that right here when it comes to James Gunn when he was talking about what was going on with the DCU. He does talk about the whole DCEU and DCU connection. It says right here, specific events from the DCEU will be canon to the DCU, but only when are mentioned in new DCU projects. Quote right here, he said there are references to things that happened in the past, and those references then become canon in the DCU. We mention them, which, of course, when it comes to Peacemaker, you got, of course, the death of Rick Flag. So Rick Flag Jr., yes, you got Rick Flag Sr., that's going to be a part of it. Yes, naturally, there's going to be a reference to that 100%. And then, of course, he talks about the overall aesthetic of the DCU and talks about how everything's going to be artistically distinct. He emphasized this again. He's talked about this on social media, but he really want to emphasize it again. And his quote right here was, every single project that comes out of DC Studios is going to be its own thing. It's a connected universe, but we're not imposing any overall aesthetic, which I think we can all just, yes, we can all just kind of freaking applaud that, right? We can all applaud that, I think, because we don't want it to be, how the MCU is. And I think that's one of the things when James Gunn was over there, they was like, yeah, it cannot just be that. Can't be that. And then keep going and keep going. He talks about more Peacemaker. And he says it's a very different season, very magical. And then, of course, when it comes to the Superman trailer, when is it going to be coming about? When are we going to see it? We were kind of hoping that there was going to be something at New York Comic Con, but sadly, there was nothing that came about, even though we were like all begging for it. But he did mention when it comes to the Superman trailer, he said it won't be too long, but it won't be too soon. Soon. You got to love that word, right? Soon. We got to love soon. Oi, it's always too soon. It's going to be CCXP, guys. CCXP. down in Brazil, Comic-Con, that's when it's going to happen because they love DC down there. It's always magical down there. The crowds are electric. It is 100% going to be there. I think even David Cornsweet, when he went on that podcast, said something about December, and that's when it showed. That's when CCXP is. It is 100%. We're going to get the teaser for Superman at CCXP. Yes, I wish it was New York Comic Con. There's something, but it was all about Creature Commandos. It was a smaller engagement, but CCXP is going to be where that is happening. There's no way that it's not. And then he, of course, talked about he talked about Crypto, and he said he's in an incredible part of the story. He came into the screenplay, and it kind of changed everything up. So obviously, adding him to the screenplay, I'm kind of wondering if Jimmy Gunn's kind of fluffed it up a little bit and said like, oh yeah, I added him to the story. I'm like, was he not in the story already to begin with? I think he was. Jimmy, you like to put animals in your stories. I think that Crypto was a part of the Superman story from the get-go. That's just me right there thinking, because I'm just, And of course they're editing right now. There's already an assembly cut. There's all of that. Oh, Supergirl, when it comes to Supergirl. So a couple interesting things when it comes to Supergirl that he mentioned on the panel at New York Comic Con is the fact that Supergirl is going to be going in production in January. So in 2 months, or a little over 2 months, it's going to be going in production in the UK. So of course, obviously the LisWonder Warner Brothers Studios right there. Of course, we've got Craig Gillespie and Anna Naguara, who is the writer right there. Of course, he talked about how it's going to be a completely different take on the superhero movie. And then he also mentioned that the character in this freaking book right here, and I know everybody was kind of wondering, is the Ruthie character going to be in there? What is she going to be doing? And apparently they've already screen tests, and they probably already have the actress who's playing Ruthie in the Supergirl movie. They just haven't announced it yet, and I'm sure we're going to get that announcement probably by CCXP, at CCXP, who knows. But he did mention the Ruthie screen test when it came to Supergirl. So, and talking about a completely different superhero movie, and I think that's going to be an interesting one too, because we've only had one other Supergirl movie. We had a Supergirl show, and of course it's been very lighthearted. But if you have that book right there, and even if you skim through that book, it is not your normal Supergirl story. And of course, Crypto is a part of that. But he did say like, oh yeah, when he got pitched that story from Anna, it said it was one of the best pitches I've ever heard. She immediately wrote a first draft, and it just got better and better. So he's definitely like propping up that story. So it's sounding like it's going to be something pretty damn special. So there you go. That was all the Supergirl stuff. And then of course they had to mention lanterns. He had to mention lanterns. And he basically said that Tom King helped him create the initial story when it came to lanterns. And then, of course, they sketched out a bunch of concept and all this kind of stuff. And then it's mentioned right here that Lanterns is going to be pretty grounded. It's very grounded, and a real series, which is strange to say for a Green Lantern show, but it's going to be something nobody's seen before. So he can't wait for all of that. And then, of course, he talked about Aaron Pierre and talking about the chemistry between Aaron Pierre and Kyle Chandler. He said it worked out. And then he mentioned that Aaron Pierre almost played Adam Warlock in Guardians 3. So apparently he's already worked with Aaron Pierre, and Aaron Pierre was almost Adam Warlock in Guardians of the Galaxy. Thankfully, he ended up not being, because I thought that was the weakest character. I did not like Adam Warlock. I did not like him in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but it was mainly because of rocket stuff. But I did not like Adam Warlock. So I'm actually 100% glad that Aaron Pierre did not get that. I think it works. I think that works. But yeah, he also says that they're ready to start shooting. This says Chris Mundy, Damon Lindelof, and Tom King are dealing with Lanterns. We're getting ready to shoot, and it's been amazing. So Lanterns and Supergirl are ready to fucking start shooting in the first quarter, essentially the first quarter of 2025. So, And that's pretty much it, guys. And again, I want to thank DCU Brief. I am utilizing their Twitter thread to get all that down. But yeah, Adam Warlock sucked. It just didn't work. To me, it just did not work when it came to when it came to all that. So yeah. But so Aaron Pierre, thankfully, he did not get that role. I would say thankfully. He's probably glad now. All right. So. But Gunn discovered Aaron through Twitter. I know, Twitter casting. See, that's another funny part, too. It's like, oh, yeah, he was cast through Twitter. It's like, I mean, I'm sure that had some help. Like, I'm not doubting that it helped because people were raving about him after, you know, whatever that movie, Rebel Ridge. I'm sure that helped. But at the same time, it's not, you know. That's why, like, when people say that shit, it's like, stop saying that. Stop saying that. Anyways, all right. So, The Penguin, Episode 5. Quick review of The Penguin, Episode 5. This show is just, I can't get enough of this show. The show's great. I mean, obviously coming off of Episode 4 that showed the backstory of Sophia being in Arkham, and then, of course, what she ended up doing, and spoiler alert, if you haven't seen last week's episode, I'm going to talk spoilers about that. I won't talk about spoilers with this one, but last week, when we saw her kill her whole family, she went from the hangman to the gas man, pretty insane, holy Lord, and just gassed her whole fucking, I mean, she's just like, you know what, fuck everybody, and fuck Oswald, I'm going to take him on too. And shit goes down in this one where we're going like, you're feeling for Oz a little bit because he's still trying to stay alive. He's still trying to keep his mom alive and Vic. But things go down in here where you go, oh crap. And then of course you got Sally Pants, who's a part of this too. You know, Mr. Maroney, and things go down when it comes to his little story. And I'm glad that we get more Salvador Maroney in here, and I'm like going, okay, wow, the way that this ends, the way that this episode ends, and of course you see a little bit more outcome of what the Riddler did, you know, to, of course, Crown Heights. You see a little bit more of that, and I'm just kind of going like, God damn, they did a good job with the set designs when it comes to these locations, for sure. But yeah, the way that Oz is scared. Oz is scared, and then the way that you see the episode end, you go, holy crap, what's going to happen here? What's going to happen? Who's going to... It's like, you fear for Vic and you fear for Oz's mom. That's for damn sure. Yeah. So, there's my quick review right there. That's my quick review of The Penguin right there. I mean, this series is just so top-notch for me. So top-notch. But let's talk about the box office. And the box office, of course, did box office things. And what keeps on freaking dominating the box office? Horror movies. Horror movies are just dominating the box office. They don't cost that much to make. And then people are just flocking to them. And that's what happened this weekend when it came to Smile 2. Smile 2, of course, topped the domestic box office and the worldwide box office. $23 million over the weekend. Overall, it made $46 million, and I can't imagine that the budget was more than $10 million. There's no way that it probably was like $6 million, $7 million. God knows how much it actually was. So it's already making profits. It's already making profits. We're probably going to get 17 more Smile movies. I wouldn't be surprised. It seems like this horror franchise is just it's just going to be 100% just, they're going to continue. One thing about the box office, though, you know what happened over the box office this weekend? And sorry, Barbie fans, but Deadpool and Wolverine actually beat Barbie in the domestic box office earnings. That's right. It beat it. Oh, let's see here. Deadpool and Wolverine. Let's see, where's it at domestically? Somehow, I was like, is it still in the box office? I mean, I guess it's still out there. All right, so domestically, 636.3. 636.3. And Barbie was at 636.2. So it beat it by 1,000. Just barely beat it right there. So there you go. There you go. Deadpool and Wolverine beat Barbie, not in the overall box office, but the domestic box office. That's funny. And I saw people disappointed in that. I'm like, of course, you know, whatever. That's fine. Gotta love that. But yeah. So there you go. Yeah. And of course, you know, when it came to the Terrifier 3, Terrifier 3 is still kicking ass too. It's at $41.6 million. I think it was a $6 million budget, or maybe less. But yeah, again, horror is just kicking ass. Kicking ass. We're gonna get, you know, 27 more Terrifiers, and you know, 14 more Smile movies. And then of course this week we have Venom: Last Dance coming out. Of course on Wednesday's show. On Wednesday's show we I'll talk about, you know, reviews on that, and we'll go over all that stuff. But hey guys, Joker 2 is almost at $200 million. Hey! Jesus Christ. Who would have thought, man? Who would have thought? Who would have thought that a sequel to a Joker movie that made $1 billion is struggling to even cross $200 million? Insane. Insane. Like, I didn't think that Joker 2 was going to make $1 billion, but I was like, it'll make like 600, 700. Wow. It's like barely, it might not even make 200 million. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Jesus Christ. And I'm one of the people that enjoyed it. I'm one of the people that enjoyed it. Anyways, all right. And then the last topic of the show, and thank you guys for, you know, sticking around. I know I had some technical difficulties, and I know when the stream first started, there were some people in there that were like, oh, as soon as I started freezing up and chopping up, they were like, I'm out. And I'm like, yeah, you know, sometimes I've been like, I don't know what's going to be happening. I mean, you know, I'm up, you know, when it comes to my internet service, I'm not paying like low tier internet. I pay like top tier internet. I mean, I think eventually, I've had my modem and router for a bit. I probably will take it in and get it taken out, but you know, but it's just like, I can never know when this stuff is gonna go wonky or not. And it seems like Mondays are always just like weird. It's weird. I don't know why that's happening, but no, I appreciate you guys sticking around, even though it's glitchy at first, but it seems like it's been rolling pretty good right now. So I appreciate you guys. All right, Christopher Nolan. Yeah, that's right. Christopher Nolan. We've been talking a lot about Christopher Nolan, which is great. We know that his new movie is going to be coming out, I think it's July 11th or mid-July 2026. He's going to start filming the new movie next year. And all we know about it is the date and the fact that he's going to start filming it next year, and the fact that Matt Damon is likely going to be starring in it. And it was kind of funny because there was not confirmation that Matt Damon was going to be starring in the movie. But then I was like, no, obviously if they're already mentioning Matt Damon, I don't think Matt Damon's going to pass up an opportunity to star, be a lead in a Christopher Nolan. Everybody wants to be a lead, or even not even, everybody just wants to be in a Christopher Nolan film. But then all of a sudden we get somebody else that might also take a lead role in Christopher Nolan's movie. What are we doing here? But we don't know what it exactly is. But hey, look at this. Tom Holland. Tom Holland also might take a lead role, or is taking a lead role, when it comes to Christopher Nolan's movie. And I say good on Tom Holland. He needs this. Tom Holland has not done well when it comes to non-Spidey work. Let's face it. What movies has Tom Holland been in that's non-Spider-Man that people are raving about? So now we get a little bit of something right here. So this is from Gizmodo right here. Since Universal announced it was teaming with Nolan, fans everywhere have been speculating about the nature of the film. One rumor is that it's a horror movie. That's right, a Christopher Nolan horror movie. Another is that it's a helicopter action movie like 1983's Blue Thunder. And the Hollywood Reporter's story about Holland's casting writes that the setting is not present day, although it's unclear whether it's set in the past or in the future. Well, we heard two of those could be potentially be true. I09 got word from a reliable source that Nolan's film is a vampire movie set in the 1920s. What? A 1920s Christopher Nolan vampire movie? Get the fuck out of here. But of course, it mentions that Ryan Coogler is already making that movie. Yes, the Sinners movie that's coming out in March, which looks fantastic. But that doesn't mean there isn't room for two visionary filmmakers to tackle the same topic. Obviously, this would be coming out in 2026, especially when the releases are so far apart. Don't forget, not only was Nolan one of the many directors to tackle Batman, he did a magic movie, The Prestige, around the same time as a rival studio was doing a magic movie, which was The Illusionist, which was also a good movie. He's not beholden to what other people are doing. Plus, it's not like a period horror movies are all over the nation's multiplexes these days or ever. There's plenty of room for two or maybe even more of these. That's crazy. Who would have thunk that there's a possibility, even if it's the helicopter movie? I'm kind of curious, like maybe it's going to be that. But who would have thunk? Because I think Christopher Nolan's mentioned that before. He's mentioned that he might want to do like a Western, but I think like what's been put out there recently is the fact that he wants to tackle a horror movie. And it's like, yes, a Christopher Nolan horror movie, please. And it's going to be another period piece, which we know he's good at doing that because he's done those. He's done numerous those. So, but vampires? Man, vampires. But good on Tom Holland. Good on Tom Holland because he needs this. Tom Holland really needs this because people are just not going, hey, anytime that he's starring in a movie that has not been Spider-Man, everybody just kind of goes, eh. I mean, you had, what was that movie with the Russo brothers that they produced that was really weird? Cherry? I can't even remember anything else that he was in that was non-Spider-Man off the top of my head, and I'm just kind of going like, yeah, but him getting into a lead role for a Christopher Nolan movie and possibly a horror Christopher Nolan movie about vampires, that's going to be a good get. Oh yeah, there's Uncharted. See? Thank you, Nate. Totally forgot about Uncharted. But I did not really like that movie. I really didn't like that movie, to be honest. Yeah, forgot about Uncharted. See, that's how forgettable it was. I mean, if you watched my first reaction in my initial review, I was not the biggest fan of that movie. I think I called it Uncharted. Anyways. But yeah, totally forgot about that. See? And that just shows you right there. And aren't they supposed to do a number two? The joke writes itself. No, they're supposed to do another one, right? Because it still did fairly well at the box office, but it was just so forgettable. Man, maybe Tom Holland. Yeah, Stephanie. I mean, I when I hear him in interviews, I root for this guy, but it just seems like anything outside of Spider-Man, it just seemed like things weren't working, you know? So now that he's getting this, I'm just kind of going like, yeah. I'm thinking that this is what he really needs. I mean, Zendaya is blowing up. She's like continuing on. So it's like, man, I mean, obviously he had his Romeo and Juliet like Broadway thing that he did, but a lot of people criticized that too because it was like, it's too woke and all this kind of stuff. And it was like doing all that. So it just hasn't been like certain things where it's like, I don't know. So hopefully, I'm pretty sure they planned a trilogy. Yeah, they probably did, but it's just like, I don't know. Like I've never really played that game of Uncharted, but I know people were like, this is not what we were expecting when it came to that. I mean, it has its moments. I guess it can be entertaining, but I was just kind of like, I don't know. I just didn't really, I was not really big on Uncharted. Was not really big on it, but hey, that's just me. What's going on, Axel? Good to see you. A 70 millimeter vampire black and white Nolan film. See, Arkham Knight, you are, you are totally just like, you are totally speaking my language right there. And I hope that's what freaking Nolan does. I hope that's what he does. If he were to make it black and white, do something like what Robert Eggers did with the fucking Lighthouse. Man, see? What was woke about Romeo and Juliet? Did you see what Juliet looked like? It was a black girl, so naturally, yeah, that's what it was. Like, I personally didn't care. I'm like, it's Romeo and Juliet, reinvented again. I mean, Rachel Zegler also is doing a version of that too, but you know how it is. That's what it was. It was because Juliet, black, so naturally people start doing that, and I'm just like, who cares? Who cares? It's like, I don't really care about that story anyways. I thought when it came to the Leo DiCaprio version, I was like, that was kind of unique. They kind of updated it. I forgot who directed that. And Claire Danes. I was like, that's fine. It's fine. But yeah, you know how it is. You change the race and everybody starts freaking out. And I'm just like, yeah, certain things I could see, but certain things I go, who the hell cares? I just don't care. All right, so let's go to some Twitter questions right here. I got some weirdos in the... Okay. Yeah, they're muted. Don't worry. All right, let's go to some Twitter questions right here. Austin said, we'll watch the replay when I'm off, so thank you. You see, that's the thing. I know. And you bring up a good point there, Stephanie, but back then nobody really gave a shit. But then, of course, when you changed, one of the main characters, that's where, again, yeah, people freak out about stupid shit. All right, so we got Eric right here. So, Dave, how do you see Sophia's fate by Penguin's End? Is she legitimately an ally of Sal or conning him? I would say she's also playing him a little bit. Sophia ain't dumb. Looking to take him out. She took a good look at that ring on his hand. Yeah, I feel what you're talking about there, Eric. Could Oz turn her back? Could Oz turn her back on his side? No. That could be interesting too if they ended up like walking in the sunset together. That'd be interesting. Obviously, will she survive the finale? See, I'm kind of wondering. I hope she does. I don't think Sal's gonna last. I don't think Sal, Mr. Maroney ain't gonna last, but I think maybe both of them might, and then maybe they'll play a presence in both, but maybe they won't. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I think Oz is gonna fucking survive, but yeah, she might not. Who knows? Dylan G, what if Venom 3 is better than Joker 2? Well, certainly a lot of people are gonna say that. A lot of people will say that. And it'll likely be more entertaining in my eyes. More entertaining, sure, but overall as a crafted movie, it's not going to be better. I don't see it being better because no matter what you feel about Joker 2, I still think it's like the cinematography is good. The dance numbers, even though like sometimes it felt like they didn't need it, they were still done fairly well. And it was still acted very well. So I don't know. There's definitely going to be people that say that shit. And then Dylan G also says, so who are your fan cast for the new Nolan film, Dave? Well, I mean, maybe Tom Hardy will come back again. I always like Tom Hardy and Nolan working together. Apart from me, hopes to see Walton Goggins. That'd be pretty sweet. And Nolan's brother worked with him in Fallout. Yeah, that's right. Jonathan Nolan did Fallout. I still have to watch that. Hopefully he recommends him along with Ella Purnell. Also, do you think Cillian Murphy will be in it? Nah. Doesn't sound like it. Sounds like Cillian Murphy's pretty busy, and no, most likely not. I mean, it sounds like he's got 2 leads already. It's going to be interesting to see who supports those. Nick Cage, oh, that'd be pretty fucking awesome. Devin Wooter, hey Dave, do you think Marvel did a mistake for letting go of James Gunn? Well, they didn't really let go. I mean, they let him go, they brought him back, he finished his trilogy, and then that was just going to be it. I don't think they really let him go. And Aaron Pierre, people showed up for Creature Commandos panel. Do you think that is a sign that people's looking forward to seeing James Gunn's DC universe? Yeah, I think so. And Vin Diesel was in Saving Private Ryan. Yes, he was. No, I think from what I saw from the excitement from that panel, seems like I mean, no matter what, there's is there like a an astronomically huge excitement for everything? No, but there's excitement for it. Jamon Watson. We are 2 different Batman. We are 2 different Batman similarities with Matt Reeves' world grounded, realistic noir, and DCU with fantastical enemies and and supernatural stuff. We may love Nolan's Dark Knight and Matt Reeves' take on Batman, but I think it's time to bring Batman with fantastical elements. That was in Batman the Animated Series that made it so iconic, by the way. Yeah. And I think the fact that we saw Clayface in Creature Commandos being the big monster Clayface, that just kind of shows you right there that, yeah, there's no way, 100%. Okay, let me save that for the end right there, because I want to emphasize that, and I forgot to bring that up, actually. So I'll bring that up at the end right here. Darkness Under the Wind. Dave, question 1. With Clayface confirmed with being Creature Commandos, do you think there will be a build-up to Brave and the Bold if he's going to be the villain? Yes, there could be. Question 2. With Gunn recently confirming Creature Commandos will lead into Peacemaker Season 2, safe to say Rick Sr. will learn of Peacemaker killing his son. Yes, 100%. That's probably what Amanda Waller is probably going to let it be known. Question 3, if Sophia is still around after Penguin, do you think a crime civil war will occur in the Batman Part 2, all while Freeze is around? Yeah, I think there's going to be a total mob war. There probably will still be something that's going on when it comes to Penguin and maybe Sophia, if, Sophia lasts. And then, of course, there's going to be some kind of big-time villain, somebody that could be like Mr. Freeze, that's going to be a part of that. So, Mr. Nobody, hey Dave, when you thought the Penguin was great, it keeps getting better. If Amanda Waller recruits Rick Flag Sr., won't Rick find out that even though Peacemaker technically killed his son, it was under the orders of Waller? Yeah, see, that's a good point. That is a good point. He might end up wanting to turn on her. He might end up wanting to do that. All right, let me see. Let me pull it up right here because I did post about it. Let me pull up my little screenshot. Could have just pulled up the entire. Hey, I'm just gonna try to find it right here. Here it is. Okay. So I think we could just kind of get it out of our heads. When it comes to Robert Pattinson, Matt Reeves' Batman being the Batman in the DCU, because it just seems like, okay, there's no way when it comes to what Matt Reeves is doing. When you see the first Batman, the Penguin, and the Batman Part 2, if he does anything that has to do with Clayface, which I don't think he's going to, now that we've seen the Creature Commandos trailer, is the fact that it's like in the Creature Commandos trailer, he is 100% the Clayface that we've seen recently, the reinvented Clayface that Batman the Animated Series did, which they did a great job. It's not going to be the Golden Age Clayface, which would in fact fit in Matt Reeves' universe. And then you got this right here. You got James Gunn again confirming again for the people in back, Matt Reeves' Batman is part of DC Studios, not the DCU. So of course, he tells me what's up. So there you go. I think we could finally put that to bed that, yes, we are going to get 100% a new Batman for the DCU. Not saying that it wasn't on the table for Robert Pattinson to make the transition over. I'm sure that was on the table at one point. But I think we could just finally just stop it with James Gunn saying that once again and seeing Clayface in Creature Commandos, which is in the DCU. There's no way that fits in Matt Reeves' universe. There's no way. There's no way. So let's just put that to bed. Let's just put that to bed 100%. Because I forgot to mention that response right there when talking about the DCU stuff right there. So there you go, guys. Yeah. I don't know, but there's no way that wasn't on the table at one point. No way. No way that wasn't on the table at one point. But we'll see. Like I said, some good things coming out of the DCU and everything. Hopefully. Creature Commandos, I think it's going to be a fun series. I still think it's kind of weird that is the official start of the DCU. Yeah. But I mean, the trailer that they showed at Comic-Con over the weekend, I actually dug it. I was like, okay, this is very adult. This is very graphic. This is going to have a lot. They have Rupert Thorne in there. Fucking A. They got Rupert Thorne that shows up in the goddamn series. I'm like, another Batman character. I'm like, cool. All right. So we got some other little elements. The animation is fine by me. I know some people don't like the animation. But, but the real test, of course, is going to be Superman. And like I said, I think when it comes to that first bit of footage that we're going to get with that's going to be at CCXP for sure. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Again, thank you guys for sticking with me when I was having some glitchiness happening at the beginning. Like I said, I don't know. Sometimes the internet just has a case of the Mondays. But we got through it, and everything went smoothly for the rest of the stream. And, like I said, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that like, thumbs up, share it, do all that. Helps the algorithm, everything. And subscribe to the Patreon if you want to help out the channel or become a member. Do all that. We had a members and Patreon stream over the weekend where we had a nice little group talking about things, which was always fun. So we survived. We definitely survived. All right, guys. You guys have a good rest of your night. Have a good Tuesday. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. We'll be talking about, of course, Venom, Last Dance, see what the critics are saying, see in box office, and then we'll see what other madness comes out when it comes to the movie news out there. All right, guys. Love ya. Talk to you later.